Morning everybody and welcome to another race review from Kev the Noise Davis. This time it was my very own Noisy Tour 2020 brought to you by Project X Racing from the fabulous Dromicide Raceway Bundaberg Kart Club. It was a cracker. First of all, for the Noisy Tour, thanks very much to all my sponsors. These guys approached me. I didn't ask anybody, so it's amazing to have this many on board. But thanks to Miller Signs and Graphics, thanks to Wongi's Tilt Trays, Greg Dag Towing, Northside Kart Supplies, thanks to T&B Plumbing, Brendan Sublimations, Thompson Kart Supplies, SKD Kart Development, Scooter Speed Shop Trailer. Thanks to all these guys, and Molecule Cleaning Products Australia. Thanks to all of them for coming on board and being sponsors, and of course my title sponsor Project X Racing and Mr. Will Yarwood. And thanks to Dolby Trailers too, who've been on board during the series. So thanks to all these guys for coming on board and making the series and the giveaways that we get to give every race day so good. Moving on to the racing, and it was a cracker weekend. Bundaberg Kart Club, I've got to say, normally 30 to 40 races. A fabulous club, resurfaced, a home of champions. I'll tell you about a couple of them very soon. But this weekend, the Noisy Tour was in town, and we took 110 entries. It was enormous. We had to get permission from the council to use the grounds next door to pit in. It was that big. It was as big as the state championships, and boy, oh boy, am I a very proud man to say that we are making the Noisy Tour this big. It's such good fun, and it is proper fun racing. Thanks to all the canteen. I've had so many thank yous. I did it on Driver's Brief. We did it on the night of the feed, but honestly, they fed. There must have been 100 people. It was an amazing feed. Well done to the canteen. Well done to the officials and all the members and the volunteers for the weekend, because it was massive. So we had, some great volunteers that came. Brett Aird, the Karting Queensland president, came all the way from Emerald to come down and help out. Annette and Sean English came and helped out, and Sean kept everybody honest. So I think the first 5 karts were getting checked. So it was like a state title. It was brilliant. So honestly, thanks to all these guys that came and helped, all the guys that came and did everything they do for the series. It was brilliant to have you there. So thank you. On to the racing, right? The fun stuff, because it is fun. I only started laughing. I can't help it. Cadet 9s. It was really good, and the timing people had some fun with me, because they know I use my timing when I'm videoing and calling races. But in 6th place, I already started. In 6th place, Arlie Gerard had a cracker run in the Cadet 9s, really good fun. And Zoe Vishu was in P5, but P4, Caelan Burke for the Heat 3 in the final was known as Sprinkles Burke. Nash Pirano was P3, so well done to Nash for getting on the podium all the way from Rocky, and I've got his trophy here, so I've got to give Nathan, his dad, the trophy when I see him next. And in 2nd place, Oliver Uppercut Aquasanta, because he had a bit of a biff with his brother. So, on timing, I was losing it. So I apologise if I'm laughing that much, but it was so funny. But the winner, and he came from a win at Warwick, and he came all the way to Bundaberg because they saw I was there commentating. So thanks to his dad for supporting our series. It was brilliant, because these are the support classes to the superstars of the Noisy Tour, remember. But the winner, Sebastian Eskandari Morandi. I'm going to get used to saying that name, because he was rocket. He was so fast. So well done to winning it. So it was Nash Pirano P3, Oliver Aquasanta, Uppercut Aquasanta P2, and the winner, Sebastian Eskandari Morandi. And a runners-up in 4th place. I've got to say the name again. Caleb Sprinkles Burke. Well done, boys. And well done to the team of officials. They decided to have some fun with me on the weekend. It was so good doing that. And the next of the support classes, the KA4 Juniors, great racing again. And Jack McCullum, a newcomer, I think he got a PB on the weekend, I'm sure. He did really well, coming home in 6th place. In 5th, Fraser Blyton missed a heat, so I think that's why he's down there as low as he is. Joey Bonanno, he had a cracker weekend because he's in the 4 bangers too, but he came home P4. But on the podium, Hey Dogs, Hayden Egan from Bundaberg, a cracker run, couldn't quite stay with the front 2. Stevie Chan, what a cracker, P2, well done to Stevie. And the winner, Billy the Kid Myers, absolute cracker from Gladdy, had a great drive all weekend, unstoppable, looked really unbeatable, so it was really good. In the KA3 Juniors, this was the most exciting final of the weekend. It was so intense for 3 laps towards the end. I mean, it was that close all the way through, but the last 3 laps, they were desperate for the win. and the moves were incredible. They came together, unfortunately, at Thompson Kart Supply's hairpin, and it was an unfortunate coming together. I'm sure that it was no intention, but it was such a good race. So Hayley Stevenson, daughter El Presidente, came home P5. Sean Jakes, the Kalula Flyer, came home P4. P3, Zayn Rinaldi was up there for the win, so close. He came P3. Remy Haller came P2, and the winner, the Flyer, Ty Spencer. What a drive. Well done to them all. It was great to see. Fence line fill of that one. It was brilliant. The next of the support classes, the Four Bangers. Welcome to 4SS Racing. And in P6, Lily Dozel. P5, Jack Dozel. They missed the final, so I'm not sure what went on. They must have had to leave early, but they were P6 and P5. P4, Madison Arnie. Well done to Madison. I'm pretty sure Madison got a PB again. So well done, Maddie. And coming home in P3, Julia Julia Balchin. I'll get it right next time I call you, I promise. I was calling it Balkin all day, but Julia Balchin came home P3. P2, Kiana Egan. And P1, that name again, Joey Bonanno, with the best celebration of the day in the support classes. Well done to Joey. Brilliant drive. Finished it and winning. Great stuff. Alright, the next of the support classes, Cadet 12s. Levi Dozel again had to leave early, so I'm not sure if there would have been more points for Levi, but finishes P13. P12, Jasper Price, a newcomer, doing really well, kept going and getting faster and faster. Maggie Chan, the number 32, got hooked up in the final, I think it was a final, and so down on points because of a bit of a coming together. Dominic Penman was battling with Maggie a lot of the day, so Dominic comes home P10. Into the 9 then. Top 10. Cody Anderson, the 22, comes home P9. Nicholas Speed, again, one of those that came together in the final. Little number 88, he comes home P8. And P7, Roiki Haller, well done to Roiki. Max Acrosanta had a bit of a biff with his brother during the weekend, comes home P6. And then into the top 5, little Zach Butler, well done to Zach, comes home 5th. 4th, Zach Bell, and I'm gonna call Zach the little showboater because I'm P turn 2. Give me the hang 10, the little Cadet 12 driver. And in 3rd, holding the podiums then, it was Luke Rinaldi, the Kalula Flyer, in the new car, new everything, comes home on the podium, P3. Kai Burke, last year's Cadet 9 Australian champion, comes home to his home track, and in the Cadet 12s gets P2 at the Noisy Tour. And the winner, boy oh boy did he deserve it, he did really well. The little number 41, Ari Wedlock, he had a cracker, so well done to Ari, well deserved, and he looked faster and faster through the day. We are on to the main events, and the first of the Noisy Tour classes, the Sumos. And it was a cracker day of racing as well. James Evans and Elliot Thompson were the two light guys that were in amongst them, and they were having overtake practice because obviously they're light, but they started them way off at the back. And by the time the race finished each time, Elliot was up in about P4. He was having such good fun. So well done to James Evans, P2 in the lights, and Elliot Thompson, winner in the tag lights. In the heavies then, in the Sumos, P13. Unfortunately, Scotty Cleveland, the Cleveland Steamer, had dramas in the Sunday racing. Saturday he was going okay, but he had a wheel come off. He's got hooked up. He was having such bad luck. He had fun on the weekend, but yeah, terrible luck to be Ross because he would have been in the top 4. I feel sure of it. Matty Walker, well done to get P12. Travi Martin was in battles all day long too, gets P11, and into the 10. Rudy Farkas wasn't happy with Bundaberg, he didn't have a good time, and I'm sure he'll come back and enjoy it next time, but yeah, it wasn't his weekend, even though he did win his entry feedback, so it was a free weekend for Rudy. Colin Palmer, the Molecule Australia driver, he got P9 and P8 for the Marineland Bundaberg's Paul Vishu. Well done to Paul, getting in the top 8. Sammy Gerard, a cracker run, gets P7 in the 22 cart. Ricky Jones, boy oh boy was he battling hard, and he gets top 6, P6. Angus Mathers turned around his Saturday form to come home really strong in Sunday's races and gets P5. And then P4 for Lukey Thomas. He got tripped up on it. We hooked up on someone's tent pole, so he got a real bad cut on his leg. And then I think he got hit by the wheel coming off Scotty Cleveland's car. So he had terrible luck, but he gets himself into P4. So he turned it all around as well. So well done to Lukey. Scotty Gray, the Project X factory pilot, gets P3. Well done to Scotty. And in P2, the international driver, Team Gavani's Gavin Whitmore. Well done to Gav, but he could not catch Mini Wags, the champion. Blake Wagner, the local kid, gets the win in the Sumos. Tag heavy, if you're not sure what that is. Alrighty, moving on to the tag restricted light, and they were supported by the KA3 seniors. In the KA3 seniors, Benji McLeod did really well to come P3. P2, giving up 22 kilos, I think. Barclay Holden coming back to racing for the first time in years. Well done to Barclay. I think we'll see him in a few more of the noisy tours. Comes home P2 and P1, the 51. Cameron McLeod, done them all. So well done, Cameron. Got the points and gets the win. Into the tag restricted lot. We call them the midgets, and they are the noisy tour midgets. Coming home P20, Jody Zile, dramas in the kart in the first 2 heats. Eventually got it going and had some good battles with your man, Jakes Goodman, who also was having dramas in the first couple of heats, but eventually got the kart fired and running well. Danny Brown comes home P18. P17 for Mitchell Robinson. Didn't have such a good time at Bundy. He went much better at the first one, so expect to see Mitchell come back much, much stronger at Kalula. Michael Dar, a bit of drama in the final, if I remember rightly. I think he got hooked up. P16 and P15 for Brianna McKenzie. Came up there nice and early to see the boyfriend and decided to have a race. So well done to Brianna. Bradley Bolchin, well done Bradley. P14, I think he had a new engine on there. He was running it in on Friday or Saturday. So Bradley had work to do with the engine as well. So a bit of setup work going on. Ryan Derrick, a cracker run. Ryan, good old Ryan, the Hang 10 King. And the number 77, P13. Ricky Parros, P12. Stanley Peterson, the little Peterson, we call him the little man. He is tiny. He gets on P11, but into the top 10, Emily Calwell. She got P3 in one of the races. Brilliant drive from Emily, so she was doing really well and right up there in the mix. Wayne All, Farmer Wants a Wife. He'd kill me when he hears that. He came on P9. P8 for Jacob Calwell, the second of the Calwell family, and he was in the battles. He was good for top 4 all day, so down on points. But I think that was probably from one of the incidents that went on. But yeah, did really well to get P8. P7, Lucas O'Connor, well under Lucas. And he really was battling top 4 all day long. So to come on P7, pretty good against this competitive field. Keza, Kerry Peterson, absolutely on the money too in the 48. Looked really good on track and was really fast. Gets top 6. P5 for Peter Bossoms. He was in the open performance as well. And did he take it to him in the lights? Gets himself P5. James Litso gets that win. Sorry. So I've gone 5, 6. I'm still reading the numbers because the first 3 are KA3s. But it was in 3rd, Kerry Peterson. In 2nd, Peter Bossoms. And in 1st, James Litso. So those numbers, take 3 off of them all the way through because I'm still reading the numbers because I got 1, 2, 3 from the KA3 seniors. Sorry about that, guys. But you are 3 places up, all of you. I won't go through the numbers again. You'll get bored of me listening to me. Open performance, or as we call them, the loose units. And in P7, Billy Miller, the big fella, coming home P7. P6 was Scotty Sorensen because his engine blew up. Unfortunately, he didn't make the final. Piston broke. So, unfortunately, he is pissed and broke. Scotty Sorensen comes home P6. Alex Martel, great job Alex, gets P5 and he was up there all day long giving some fun to Peter Bagulti, who just pipped him in, Peter Bossoms, who just pipped him in P4 and he was having fun. If you haven't seen it yet, have a look at the final, the last 3 laps, Peter Bossoms broad sliding and just drifting that twin engine Rotax car. He had a blast. Peter Bagulti beat him. He gets home P3 on the podium. Blake Wagner comes home a great P2. And on the top of the podium, our current KZ2 Australian champion, Mr. Troy Losco, comes back to his home circuit and takes out the win. And boy, oh boy, did he show some class. So well done to Troy, a cracker. 2 classes to go. The Noisy Tour 2020, brought to you by Project X Racing. And the next one is the Tag Restricted Masters, the old buggers as we call them. The support classes to this, there was a restricted heavy in there, Liam Rogers. So Liam, P-plater, good friend of Scotty Gray, and Gary Hall came out to have some fun. They put him in this class so he could get used to the kart and cruise around with these guys. And he was having fun, so don't count him out, get him much faster. But Liam Rogers had a belter. And in the 4 bangers, there was a light guy and a medium guy. And Evan Mitchell in the light and Anthony DiPaoli in the medium. They were battling all day. They were on a cracker. They came together at one point. It was amazing. But they had fun. They were going really well and having a good crack. So, in amongst the masters, or the old buggers as we call them, and I've got to remember to take 3 off this. So in 13th place, Caney as we're going to call him now, Andy Kane. Next, above him, Scotty Gray, because that is P11. I'm going to lose numbers. I'll just call him out till I get to the podium. It's easier. Dave Bossoms was next up. Then it was Gary Hall. In front of Gary was Bill Miller. And then Kevin Cosser, our oldest competitor. He was P7. Kev is 70 years of age and he had a cracker drive, so well done to Kev. He was going really well. Kevin Castles beat him. Then it was Ricky Jones. Peter Vigolti just above them. Then we are into the podiums. P3 for Peter Patswell, the Kalula Flyer. Well done to Peter. And P2, Brendan with an E-Goff. Well done, Brendan. A cracker drive. But your winner, Magic Michael McLean. Well done to Michael. And he was a brilliant drive all weekend. He only lost one race. The rest he won. He poled it in qualifying. In a brand new Paralin kart with a brand new engine. Did really well. Moving on. The last class of the day. The superstars of karting. The Pie Eaters. Tag restricted medium. Unfortunately, Damon Schubert didn't finish the meeting, and so he comes home P16. P15 for Stephen Neumann, and Steve was having a crack. He's a P-plater, along with Dean Hollier. I think he's had medical issues, so he was cleared to race. Comes home P14. Had a bit of a coming together a couple of times. Tristan Martell, Hang 10 kid, did really well, coming home P13. P12 for Ant Armstrong, again getting the setup right and getting that thing dialed in, so he'll be back. And then Dagsy comes on P11, building his points up, don't count him out yet, still almost in the top 10. Nick Lorenz having one off during the weekend, so unfortunately from the meatball flag he got because the bumper came off, he was in the top 4 though, so I think points were there for Nicky. He comes on P10, so he'll still be up there in the point standings when they come out later this week. Peter Walker, well done to Pete, P9. Then Fast Freddie Shepherd, the Dolby Flyer, comes home P8. And P7, he was on the money too. Troy Kubler in the 93, did really well. Matty Peters, well done Matty, what a drive. Comes home P6. Team dribble driver, he had a cracker day, a cracker weekend, so well done to Matty, well deserved. Jay Smith, awesome stuff, P5. And then Superman, Kent Lawrence, boy oh boy is he getting quick. He is absolutely putting the time in, putting the laps in and getting faster and faster. He couldn't quite match the speed of Prince Albert, Mr. Josh Betts in the 41. I got another Dolby Flyer, comes home P3 and on the podium. Second on the podium, give it up, Sats, Pete Sattler, who also gave us a rooster tail during the celebration with the champagne, because we do have champagne at the Noisy Tour. Comes home P2, just behind the international driver, Mr. Gavin Whitmore. Well done, Gav. Gets the win again. Absolutely shows him the way home with the fabulous pit crew, Beck Beasley, and supported by his lovely wife, Duck. So well done to those guys. That wraps up the Noisy Tour 2020 Round 2 Bundaberg Kart Club. Well done to the club, honestly. Wags, Benny, all the officials, I salute you. I don't know how you do it. It was amazing. The timing, man, it just got all the timing right. For the first time in years, when they came out onto the grid, the time was exactly how they came out. So each person was in the right grid slot on timing. Couldn't believe it. So thanks, guys. Brilliant weekend. The Noise signing out.